Good morning, everybody. I am Domovex, comicreleases.com assistant editor, filling in for Omar, who's currently half drunk at New York or the convention. I am joined by my amazing friend, as always, Jess from Omnidog's Vault.
What up, everybody? I'm Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault, and I think you're being generous when you say he's half drunk. I think he's fully drunk.
Okay. That's fair, because for the last 2 days, he's been sending me like random photos of him and other creators at the bar, which I'm just like, man, you got to be on something if, you have the propensity to do something of that sort, right? So,
yeah. He is the exact opposite of me. He gets out into a crowd and he lights up, loves to meet people, loves to talk to people, loves to drink. Those are all things I do not like to do. So it's good that he's out in that environment. Better him than me. I'm happy to stay here and wreck his show and get him canceled.
Oh, I completely agree. We're here to light things up, if you will, if that's the way that we'd like to say and do it. So
yeah, we probably shouldn't have announced it so early, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We're here to wreck stuff, and that's okay. He gave me the keys specifically to do it, so I think it's okay to say that. Good morning, Dylan. How are you doing? MV Maps, hello. Omar is off today. Time for a review of Volume 1.
Does that exist?
I don't know if it does. Maybe if we had a copy of it, we definitely would. Good morning, Tommy. How are you doing? Hi, Karsten. Thank you, Mr. James, for sending in the links. There is my YouTube. I'm close to 2,000 subscribers. Comicreleases.com, where I do all the work, and Webhead does none. Who's also drunk in New York, by the way.
Oh, is he in New York?
He's in New York, yeah.
Oh, he's at NYCC?
Omar sent me a picture of him and himself to yesterday night. So.
Him and Webby? I don't think I picked up on the fact that Webhead was going there.
Yeah, there's a couple of people from our comicreleases.com Discord server who are there, so who knows?
I know that Kane is there. If you're familiar with Kane, Kain, sure.
Yeah.
Kane. I love Chris' question at 11:04 already. He knows what's up.
Hello, everybody. I'll send Omar a huge hug once he gets back home. Would not be surprised if Omar throws up in the middle of Oh my goodness. His dad is doing well from what I understand. So
yeah,
we picked up on it a bit. I'm sure he'd be able to tell you more, but he is on much better definitely than a lot than last week.
That's great.
Hello, Spiral Storm. Hello. Omar is so gonna fire away. No, I actually got a raise 2 weeks ago, so there's no way. There's no way it's gonna happen.
I'm doing this for free. What the hell?
I know. We're in it for the love of you guys, and we want to keep the Saturday fun rolling. So
that is true.
I want to thank Jess for taking time out of his morning to do so.
Oh, sure.
Always. Life is good, Phil. I hope life is good for you as well. Micah, how are you doing? As it is Halloween, can we get Marvel to get some Werewolf by Night, TOD, and Frankenstein epic collections? I think at some point we should be able to get those. I don't see why not. I know they're probably not going to come around Halloween. I think it took a while to get to Tomb of Dracula, but we'll get there at some point. I have no doubt.
If you're interested in epic collections, Volcanic, tonight on Batterdays in the Batcave, which is on my channel, I'm having Curtis from Epic Marvel Podcast on. We'll talk lots of epics, but we're also going to talk the books that he's putting out from Clover Press, like the art of David Nakayama and the art of Russell Dowderman, David Mack. Yeah, so there's a shameless pitch for my show tonight at 8.
There you go. So yeah, our good buddy Curtis will be there. Curtis, also my co-host on Friday streams. CNSS, good morning, good morning. Hello from Belgium, Jackie.
Ooh,
Thank
Belgium,
you for joining
nice.
us. Good morning, Yusuf, Jose. Good morning to you.
Morning.
Forgot to introduce Dupe.
Dupe, my main man, Doop-de-doop-doo, right here. There he is. All new, all different Dupe.
I like that. I like that. Let's see. Oh, Chris, good morning. Good morning to you from this is of course our buddy Chris from the Geek Ultimate Alliance. I think I got that right. Something along the lines of those sorts. I keep forgetting the weird jambles in the name. What are the biggest hot takes that you are going to make this morning that will set the chat and community on fire?
Yeah, baby. Hot take.
You could say the Mets will win the NLCS. I don't care.
I know not to do that when I'm talking to the biggest Dodger fan on the other side right here. I know. I'm just grateful they won last night. So let's see. What's a hot comic book take? Okay, I'm going to say this. I predict that I am going to go see Venom 3 in the movie theater. That's actually enough of a prediction that I'm leaving my house and going to it. But I predict I will enjoy that movie. That's my hot take.
Okay.
That's my hot, crazy take. I still haven't watched Madam Web. I'm going to make myself watch that too.
Okay.
That's my hot take. What's your hot take, buddy? Do you think the Dodgers are going to...
I don't think that's a hot take. I think they're like staunch favorites right now to win the World Series. So I think it's
the
like
Dodgers.
Yeah, it's like they're minus 110 to win the World Series according to Vegas. So I wish our buddy Harvey Peaker's Ghost was here so he could type in all caps about how much money he's going to spend on the Yankees tonight.
He was on Omnibus last night, not on Omnibus, but he was already starting about wasn't baseball. It was something about, I think he's sticking with college football.
Okay. That's fair. Even though I think it's a dangerous track, but
oh yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Thank you, Rahul. That's nice of you to say.
I guess here's a question for you, Jess. When is the bar going to be back on your channel?
I believe Bar is going to be on in November. October was too hard for her to be on. There are many holidays in Israel that made it impossible for her to be on my show. So my Israeli correspondent should be on in November. Let's see. I have several Saturdays that are open right now. So if Bar shows up in the chat, I'll make sure to ask her. I can also ask her on Discord. So, okay. Oh, there's Astonishing Melanie. Your show's been canceled, Melanie. Nobody can see that anymore.
Lance, good morning. Sorry to hear about your uncle, buddy. No, that's
tough. Sorry,
that's
Lance.
Good for stuff, man. Sending all the wishes and love to you right now.
Yeah,
and you and your family.
Difficult. Sorry, dude.
You hear that? Hopefully we can lighten up your day a bit here on Saturday.
Yeah.
Mr. Walter, hello, good morning. Good morning, Starscream 1988, one of my biggest fans. Good to see you.
Nice.
Just a quick question. Hello, Side Judge. Do you think we'll ever get a Daredevil, the Man Without Fear gallery?
I think only weird books get gallery editions, like NYX and Spider-Man One More Day. So Man Without Fear is too good of a comic to get a gallery edition, I think.
I think maybe in like 2-3 years time, but I don't see it like being at the top of like, we got to get this out in that specific format real quick. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Idle Wilder. Have y'all been getting the Justice League membership at cards at shops when you buy a DC comic? Yes, indeed. And if
what do those look like?
Let me see if I can highlight myself on them.
Yeah, let's see those.
All right, let me highlight. All right, so we got a Batman one. This is what you got when you get the first. This was the first week. If you bought the DC All-In special, you got a free Batman Justice League card. Here's the back with the QR code on the back, because of course it is, and it's got the new Bullet logo too, because they started doing the DC Bullet logo for all those. Superman was week 2. I don't know if my camera can focus it enough, but we got a
What is the QR code for?
I have no idea, actually. I never bothered scanning it.
Maybe it's do it live on the air.
We might as well. And then this week, Daniel Sampere Wonder Woman got one.
Nice.
So
very cool.
I don't know what next week's is, but I do know we will be getting more so of those. Sasmer's got a question for you, Jess. Have you started your caffeine injections through your day to get the streaming?
I had 2 cups of coffee, and I am now having a full glass of Diet Coke. So the answer is yes.
Very much yes.
Yeah.
Anybody know if Uncanny X-Men Volume 3 is the skinny font on the spine? Actually, unfortunately, do not know. Do you know the answer to this, Jess?
Anyone know if Uncanny on IST, the current one, is it a reprint?
I believe it is.
If it's a reprint, it's possible it is. Gosh, I don't know. All my Uncannies, I didn't buy the reprints. I bought them when they came out. So I don't know. I kind of think there's a policy that the reprints get the baby font, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so I would assume that if it's a reprint twisted, that it's probably skinny.
So there you go. Dom, what do you know about the status of the Amalgam Omnibus? Besides the information I laid out of what I could tell from my channel, the data on that has not moved yet. So no complete immediate delay. I think when Bleeding Cool was talking about the delay, they were talking about the subsequent delay to the 31st of December. Not that, like, once the delay happened, the delay would be after December again. Like, the delay was to push it to the 31st of December for markups and whatnot. That is what I know. There haven't been any pushbacks on it again. But from what I've gathered and information, that is what we do know about all of that. Anyways, good morning, Mr. Awesome. Hopefully you're doing well. Bunk Master Curtis is going to be in Batter Days. Does that mean he'll get his own trading card? And what do we think his mouth harp score is?
Well, here is Dom's. This is Batter Days in the Batcave. And Dom's trading card. Let's see what his score is. Mouth harp, 2 out of 5. Fighting skills, 3 out of 5. Intelligence, speed, durability, everything else, 4 out of 5. Defense power, 6,000. HP, 49,000.
It's me.
Comic releases is amazing. And I think I just saw, speaking of Bunk, since it was just Bunk, where's I feel like I just saw Bunk's card. Here's Bunk's card.
Mr. Tank Man Top himself, or Top
there
Man.
He is.
Tank Top Man. Tank Top.
Bunk, I think you're going to have to ask James. He's the keeper of all cards. I think that my guess is that Curtis is very talented musically, so I would guess he gets a 5 out of 5 on the mouth harp.
I thought that said cookies for a minute, Melanie.
I thought so too. Having fun
at New York Comic Con. So there you go. Let me see. Dom's a gambler? No, I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. It does not mean I'm a gambler. I I got a free $50 from the fantasy football app that I play with for sports gambling or whatever, because I have a subsection for it on the app. First thing I did was cash out that $50, never look back.
Smart.
Yeah, I'm like, free $50. Shoot, I'm not gonna win anything with this. I'll just take it with me. Yeah, all complete collections now out of print. A lot of them are out of print, but some of them are getting restocked. Like from my understanding,
is he? Are we still talking about Uncanny X-Men?
I think we're talking about Tomb of Dracula.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Is Kane in the chat? I don't have a way to contact her to meet. I don't believe she is, unfortunately.
She's at NYCC, so I don't think she's. I could text her your phone, Melanie. I have her on Discord. I'll inform her. I could text her your phone if you want, Melanie, and she could text you where she is if you'd like me to do that.
It'd be nice to do a little meetup. That is,
Kane's very nice.
If you're able to join Omni Dog Vault's Discord, you can of course join it there. Good morning, Omnidog and Dom. Dom, are you the one Omar said will be reviewing the DC Finest? So, tease here. There will be more information out the next week, a couple of weeks or so. I am planning to have a really big DC Finest launch here, specifically on this channel. I've got a very, very special guest that has actually graciously enough agreed to be on a panel with me, Curtis, and Omar. So I'll be leading that, and we have a very special guest. I won't say who it is, but we are very, very excited to have that launching forward, which you'll get a lot more information then.
That's exciting.
Hello, Matthias.
Hello, Matthias.
Smash that like. Yes, Tony. Smash that like button. Even though we are wrecking the show and taking it over.
Even though we're tearing it down at the foundations with all our hot takes. Wait, I actually had a hot take. Now I can't think of what it was. Now it's a cold take.
I think it's either the one more blank, and I know the dark side one is the one in November, and the dark side one lights up in the dark. It's a glow in the dark membership card.
Oh, I have something that I don't like about Bleeding Cool, if that's a hot take.
That's okay. I mean, we all have, yeah. Please share it with us, because
the IDW logo thing, I guess it was a bit of a reprints will have smaller font. Yeah, I think the new IDW logo came out this week, and people were criticizing it, and which they have a right to, but they were I didn't see. People were criticizing it in a chat I was in, and freaking Rich from Bleeding Cool goes right on to the designer's, I don't know if it was Instagram, Twitter, Bleeding Sky, whatever the thing was, but he just starts, the guy that designed the IDW logo, and he just started tearing him apart with these pointed questions that were actually pretty rude. I get it that not everybody dug the IDW new logo, but for him to go on there and just asking him these pointed, rude questions about his lack of graphic design knowledge, basically, I thought was way out of bounds, and that guy should be ashamed of himself.
No, I mean, yeah, I completely agree. It's not above Rich, I think, to do that, to get the scoops. And it's kind of unfortunate, because he really, unfortunately, is like our only main, like, under the ground comics journalism, and that isn't good journalism. Like, you don't, it's like, I think it's the same as, like, replying under somebody's tweet. Like, say, comic creator comes out with a comic, on that release day, and the first thing you do, like, you go into the replies and you're like, this is the worst comic I've read. You don't tell that straight up to their face. Like, it's super rude and nasty, man. Like, yeah. Keep it in other areas where they don't have to, see it. Like, I get, like, people not liking it. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of it myself, but I'm not going to go down there and go on the guy's social media and say, like, you're the worst graphic designer on earth. I know it's a hyperbole, but super unprofessional to do that.
I thought so too.
Hello, Batmantha.
Batmantha, what up?
Good to see you. Good to see you too,
Bart. We were just talking about you, Bart. Can you just trying to find out when you are available? That's right. I was wondering if you could be on in November. So let me either through the chat or through Discord, let me know what your November schedule is.
All right. Thank you for the super chat, Rogue Lesser. Appreciate you. Do you think that the Image comics, I guess the Skybound people, will reprint the IDW Transformer books in hardcover? I don't think they have the rights for it. I don't think they have the rights to do it. I know that they're reprinting the Marvel years next year under Compendium, which I will probably get. I just watched Transformers 1 yesterday.
Oh,
I really, really like that movie. Which is like, I got to read Transformers now, and then I remembered, wait, the rights are back at with the Skybound people. IDW doesn't have them anymore, and what they can and can't print. I know that's in like this odd limbo, but I do believe that they do not have the rights to do it at the moment. So I doubt that they will. If I wish Taylor were here, honestly, because I know that he's got his like.
Oh yeah,
he knows all about the the independent rights and all that stuff.
I feel like Batmantha was going to see the Transformers movie. I know she wasn't really very excited about Joker 2, but I think she was excited to see the Transformers movie.
Well,
I think what Blast should think about is 99% of gamblers, I think, do well right in the beginning, and then they chase that high forever, and that's how they get in the hole.
That's true.
I bet that's the problem.
That is very true.
I do not gamble. I am a terrible gambler. So I do not gamble. I suck.
Do you think the Doom Patrol fans should buy the Silver Age Omnibus or the DC Finest World's Strangest Heroes and hope for a second volume?
Well, I am partial to this that has everything in it, and it's beautifully done. I will let Dom tell me about DC Finest, because I actually know very little about DC Finest. It's beautiful reproduction of all these. This is a pretty crazy book for DC to have published back in the early to mid 60s. It's, I think, I don't want to say revolutionary, but it pushed the bounds because it's so weird and interesting. I found this to be, up until recently, this Doom Patrol stood above all other Doom Patrols. I didn't care for, up until Morrison's Doom Patrol, I didn't care for any other Doom Patrol iteration. I didn't care for Gerard Way's interpretation. So I will go with my suggestion. Stick with this big chonky monster that was only $100 for this big, thick, glossy paged beauty that I love so much. There, that's my answer.
There we go. I'll be reviewing the DC Finest Silver Age Doom Patrol. A lot of those stories, I think there's like some hit or miss stories with me. I think my favorite DP stories probably come from the Vertigo stuff, and I'm a big Doom Patrol fan. Like, they're one of my favorite teams in the DC universe. But I will admit, like, yeah, there are some weird rough patches, like the Byrne era Doom Patrol I'm not really fond of.
Yeah.
I think just for the case of the simple reason, like I definitely would say try out the DC Finest Doom Patrol. It's $39.99, and on top of that, if you can get a good discount on it on from our sponsors at Cheap Graphic Novels, you'll save a lot of money, because I know that I think the reprint, or the re-edition I should say, is it's a lot more than the first edition.
$100 this used to be.
I think for the money purposes, and also like being able to save up money, save up space, I also tell DC, hey, we want this line to continue. I'd say DC Finest, but I don't think both. I think both routes are definitely, definitely doable.
What size are those DC Finest books going to be?
They're thick trade paperbacks. It's the same as So I think it's like the one that Curtis showed me on a last month's stream on my channel. It was a trial book, but it was like a 0.01 inches taller. It's going to be the same size though as the. It's like a thicker epic collection. Is basically what I'm saying.
Okay, so it's going to be okay. So those are good sized books, and so will it? So the Doom Patrol's DC Finest will have a number of different stories, or what's the plan?
Oh, the whole point is to collect like entire years under one belt for a character or a franchise.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I think the best part about it is like the idea is to get everything comprehensively collected from 1938 to 2011. Some of those characters will take a long time to get in print. But the nice thing about it is like if DC commits to it, which I think from everything I've seen, it's like they are, it's going to be a great way for not only new people to get into it, but also for longtime readers and collectors to get, hey, we haven't had Legends of the Dark Knight printed out in whatever format, and we're getting all that in one. So
okay.
And yes, go on OmniDog's Vault. I think 2 hours after the stream, and he'll be back on.
2 p.m. today. Tracy the Realtor is coming over for Halloween cereal taste testing and to tell you about your horoscopes and everything else. And Dana, this is a really good. I saw Dana ask right when I was holding it up if this was a good, interesting read. It's very interesting. This, I will say, of all the Silver Age books, and I know this isn't saying much, but I'm saying it honestly, of all the Silver Age Omnis that I own, this is easily the most interesting because
it definitely is. It definitely is. It's really, really good stuff.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear you think that because I get I get how people could be worried about that, but these are really imaginative stories that have a lot of weight to them. So it's interesting. Very interesting.
For sure. 100% bar. I completely agree with you. And yes, I think hotcakes are better. I just had one 2 days ago. So also Absolute Universe from DC. They're all really good. I have a copy of Absolute Batman with me right now. It's by Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, artists on Future Foundation with Hickman and East of West, most recently on Philip Kennedy Johnson Action Comics backups. It is insane. It's wild. It's unapologetic, and it's just a super interesting spin on Batman. I know that we've had a lot of those in the last couple of years, but I really, really do enjoy what they're doing with the Absolute Universe. So
that's awesome. I'm glad. I'm not going to read any of it until it gets collected.
100%.
So that's 3 years from now at best. So but I am going to continue to read the regular line as it gets collected, the regular Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. But I have no problem reading a whole different take on any of these characters. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, and speaking of those takes, I do have an interview lined up with Kelly Thompson at some point next week. So we're trying to figure out a set date to do the interview, but it'll be up soon. So.
What is she writing in the Absolute Universe?
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Nice.
Yeah, with Hayden Sherman and man, their art. Oh my gosh. Killing it.
Is she continuing to write Birds of Prey while she
Yes.
Yes, Batman. Oh, I thought you had already seen Transformers Wood. Yeah, she was not pleased with Joker.
Yes. But yeah, Kelly Thompson is writing both Birds of Prey and Absolute Wonder Woman concurrently. So.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it took my son to see Transformers 1. It is a good time.
Good.
It is a really, really good time. I know I had a lot of fun last night. I mean, the story was excellent. I love the animation, and you know what? I actually appreciate the fact there were no humans in the movie. I guess there's my spoiler for.
So it's animated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there you go. Yeah, probably go for Doom Patrol Finest. That's tell DC that we want them to continue rolling on with these books and commit, man. I am 100% behind the line. I want you guys to be 100% behind the line too. With your trade paperback collectors. Yeah, thank you for showing the book. Brand new to comics, just started collecting comics this month. This is the most fun I've ever had with a hobby in my entire life. Batman is my favorite. Hey, welcome to the hobby, man. Welcome.
Nice.
The more the merrier. Let's see. Jess and Dom, what are your favorite Silver Age, Golden Age Omnis from both Marvel and DC? It's actually a great question.
Silver Age. My favorite Golden Age Omni from DC is Wonder Woman. My favorite Silver Age Omni from DC would be Doom Patrol and The Flash. And my favorite Silver Age from Marvel. Gosh. Spider-Man or Fantastic Four? I'll say Spider-Man.
Okay. It's good stuff. I think Silver Age for me from Marvel would definitely be Spidey. Silver Age DC. Gosh. Probably Doom Patrol. Golden Age JSA for DC. I got nothing for Marvel because I haven't read any of the Golden Age Cap or Namor or any of that material.
Yeah.
New Detective Comics, hey, hasn't come out yet, so we can't judge. We can't judge yet, Blast.
How could it be bad if it hasn't come out and it's written by Tom Taylor?
I think the thing that people are ragging on it is that it seems like it's going to be a straight up copy of Nightwing, and typically what tends to happen with that is like, you know, Dick Grayson is a different character from Bruce Wayne. I will say it looks really good. The art in it is amazing. Mikkel Janin for the first time, because he who did art on Tom King's Batman, is also now coloring himself. And it looks exquisite. So there's my thing on that. Yeah, sign me up for DC Finest. Heck yes.
Yeah.
Hi to you, Kenny.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Prefer Omnibuy before. Hey, that's completely fair. I think
the nice thing, buy Doom Patrol, I don't care how you buy it, just so long as you buy it.
I completely agree. I'll be using DC Finest for gap fillers, which is not a bad idea in of as well. I think there are a lot of they're putting out a team ups book, which is pretty much their tagline for reprinting Brave and the Bold, World's Finest, books like that, where it's like a team up between two heroes. I think I think a lot of people will definitely use it in for that, especially in the Omnibus community. I can definitely see that happening.
I bet I see 1968 through 1974 Batman, Silver Age to Bronze Age Batman in DC Finest before I see it in Omnibus. Because I will be long gone by the time that Omnibus gets printed. Because at this rate, it's going to be 15 years from now before Bronze Age Batman starts. And I just want to see that original Neil Adams stuff with the good writing by Denny O'Neil. And that is going to be DC Finest, I bet.
And speaking of where you can get good Denny O'Neil writing, it's time to talk about our Canadian sponsor, BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in graphic novels. If you ever find a book that has a Batman editor attached to it that is Denny O'Neil, you can get it there. And they have a physical storefront in both Montreal, Quebec, along with their website at bdcosmos.com. You can get 25% off your order with $99 and more, and free shipping in Canada for every order at $200 or more. This shipping care is exceptional. And if you tell that you are from Near Mint Condition, Well, you will be added to a monthly $25 gift card raffle. Entries are valid for new and returning customers in Canada. BD Cosmos, the Canadian leader in comics and graphic novels. Bada bing bo boom. All right, I completely botched the Melanie line right there, but you know what? It is what it is. I guess I'm running ship now. Yeah, how's the back, Jess?
100% better. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Dom. That was the longest I had ever had a back spasm. It was painful, but it's all good now. I'm in a much better mood. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
I had one for 3 days a year ago, like the day right after Christmas. And yeah, I could not move. But we found out that it was from a chair that I switched out, like from we had like 2 spare office chairs upstairs, and I was like, well, this chair that I'm sitting in right now is getting rusty. Let me switch it out. Worst decision of my life, because apparently my back hated it. So
yeah, that was like 2 weeks of mine having to rest it. I couldn't go for a walk. I lost interest. I got depressed because of it. It was so much pain. I didn't have anything. All I could do is rest it. There's no medicine that helps it. So I'm glad it's over with.
It's going to be pre-recorded. I typically tend to do all of my interviews pre-recorded, Logan, just for the sake of expediency, and also it allows me to like edit the video, in the way that I'd like it to, which I add. I have graphics and everything up on there as well, which take a while to put in. But yeah, that is the answer, I guess, to that.
So you can edit Kelly Thompson going, I think Me Dog is the best YouTuber out there. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, they call them absolutes. That's a good question. I actually have no idea. We'll have to ask Scott Snyder in 2 years to see if we can get Nick Dragata's art in absolute format. Bar's calling you out. You were on the stream with me when that happened, Jess. So
I know. I remember that now. I was just trying to keep the conversation going here,
I have not heard from a library reprint of Volume 3, but when I do my monthly indie show with Joe and Taylor, we'll maybe have something right back on this. And if we forget to, you could ask again. But as of right now, I don't believe we have anything on the way for that. Marvel announced that they are bringing back the Marvel Premier Trades.
Premier Trades?
They are so you know how DC Comics has the compact editions at like $9.99, like the tiny ones? Marvel's doing theirs, but it's for $14.99 instead of $9.99.
And those are called premieres?
Hmm?
Oh, okay. I remember the premiere
hardcovers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I've got something right here. Marvel premiere.
Yeah, there you go. I guess they're doing it in that line. Don't lie, you sold them all. Shh, I didn't.
They asked my favorites. They didn't say if I owned them, Marcelo. They said what my favorites were.
Silver Age Superman worth picking up. I think Jess has a more definite answer for you on that, but I know for me it took a long time to get through a lot of those issues. I understand there's a lot of words and all that, but man, there's a lot of words. Like, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
I think for the modern age, for the modern era reader, the modern age reader, Silver Age Superman is going to be a tough read. I mean, and I couldn't wait to get this book. And it's a big glob of nostalgic sugar for me. But, and the stories are one and done. Mostly the issues, they typically would have 2 stories or so. Unless you really love the Silver Age, I don't know that I could recommend it unless you have a a real love for Silver Age, like I do, and that's strictly nostalgia for me. Like being a reader Dom's age and reading all the everything from, say the year 2000, the last 25 years worth of material is so great. A lot of it is so great, and I think it would be tough for a modern era reader to dig it. Now, where Silver Age Superman gets better is right when it starts, like that same period for Batman, 68 through 74, where it's the end of the Silver Age and it starts the Bronze Age. That's when it gets really interesting. And maybe even 66 through 68 Superman's fairly interesting. It's better than Batman Silver Age. I can tell you that. Batman Silver Age is really rough.
Vince Coletta, man. I mean, good creator, just not exactly for Batman. I think that's the best way I could put it. Earth's Geomancer, thank you for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. Jess is the best.
Really nice
about me, but Jess is definitely the best.
Oh, Dom's the best. That's why I'm here. He asked, and I said, "You bet, buddy. It's you."
Have you read the other Absolute books? This is the only one that's come out, man. Absolute Wonder Woman is coming out next week, though. So I would actually, I will recommend Jess to go to his local comic shop at Third Eye and grab up a copy of. Well, actually, no. Wait for a collected edition, just like he said he would. Let's see. When do we say ting? I actually have no. See. Here's my problem, right? I'm not Melanie, so I can't do the jingles as well as she does. Like,
I think that's Walt's Comic Shop.
That's Walt's Comic Shop, right? Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
I prefer that BD Cosmos jingle. There you go. They want you to sing the Walt's Comic Shop jingle. Just
if you give me the words, I'll give it a shot.
Dom's version. Booster, how are you doing, man? I know that you've been going through a roughish patch for a while. I hope you're doing well, though. Bada bing, your cab. Oh, your cab drivers would be proud. I need to go. I want to go to New York at some point, man. I'm probably gonna be there next year at Comic-Con. We'll have to see. But yeah. Let's see. A Just Betrayal helping Omar Gas.
I'm helping Dom.
That's true.
Yeah, Omar has nothing to do with this.
That's true. I am wrecking the cycle. We have, it's a continual. We've been here for 45 minutes. Let's see. Omni Nation, I hope you're doing well.
Good to see you, Omni Nation. Friend.
Let me see if I can continue to. I heard that the Neil Adams Batman Omnibus was pulled so DC could restore the... Yes, this is correct. Mundo was supposed to come out next year on February. And I broke the news on Jess's channel that they canceled the book. And Jess and Manga Geekdom, like, laughably had an amazing reaction to it.
We did?
You did.
I don't... Wait, Manga Geekdom was on the show with me?
Yeah, I think it was the Saturdays, and I had gotten the notification, hey, this got pulled, and I saw, oh, this is canceled. I can tell Jess about this. He's going to be the happiest person on earth. And I went on your channel, and you were like, yes, I remember the day.
Okay, I do remember that. Now I do remember that. Yeah, and so has it been resolicited to, or has it just been canceled?
It's just been flat out canceled.
Okay. I hope it's. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, they started writing similar to the show. They started to feed off each other.
It's true. I will also add Tarston, because you talked about 60s Batman. This came out this week. This is Batman and Robin Year One by the creative team of, if I can show it, Mark Waid, Chris Samnee. Holy moly, man. I mean, it is flat out gorgeous. It's clear that like whenever those two are on a book, it's always, and I always feel this, like they're always putting in top shelf level work. Love their Daredevil. Now they're doing Batman, like they did Black Widow a couple years ago. I mean, just look at the pencils, the outlays, the colors with Matt Lopez. I hope that this gets an absolute at some point. We deserve Chris Samnee in absolute format.
Is it a limited run or is it ongoing?
12 issues.
Sorry?
Batman and Robin Year One is 12 issues.
12 issues. Okay. That can get a
love it, Jess. Yeah.
I'm excited for it. That's awesome.
Samantha puts the
Batmantha flying in the face of my recommendation. So Batmantha does she's read so much Batman. She's read an incredible amount of Batman.
I gotta say, I respect that. Like, holy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend. Honestly, you could be the friend. This person in disguise. I don't know. But a couple of years ago, I met a guy. He was about like a couple years older than me, but he's read every single issue of Batman from 1938 up to like, I think James Tynion was writing Batman at the time.
Oh my gosh.
And he told me like all of these distinct plot points and all of these like writers and artists like I'd never known about. It's like, you got to read more Batman. You know, you say you're a Batman fan, but I don't feel like you are. And I was like, okay, fine.
Has he read anything else? I feel like that would just exclude everything else, that much reading.
He doesn't read a lot of other, DC. I mean, he reads like Bat Family adjacent characters. As far as DC stuff goes, he's only read like some of the main stories, and that's pretty much it. So, Good morning, Dylan.
Hey, Dylan.
Omar and Melanie look really different today. I completely agree with that sentiment.
Yes.
Started off reading all the Superman titles post Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm loving it. I mean, it's Man of Steel, and you got the quadruple head. Is that how you say 4 of everybody in the Superman office just doing the wackiest stuff there. Jess, you tell Dom about the ube dessert you had.
I did. The one that came from Jollibee, the ube pie.
Oh, the ube pie.
Yeah, it was great.
I love the ube pie.
Cycle Cleveland is quite a generous dude.
It's great that you got Jollibee. We finally got Jess Jollibee. I did my part on this planet. I can rest in peace now.
I still have to go to the Filipino ice cream place and get the ube flavored ice cream.
That's right.
Hey, there's Super Laugh Hard. What up, Sonny?
What's good? Hoping we get a Superman trailer today for NYC. I do believe that we should be getting a panel because James Gunn is there along with the rest of the Superman crew. So I love Batman comics so much. Yeah, no, Batman is awesome. There is so much to delve into with the bats and all of the people around him. Not even just his family, like Jim Gordon. And it's a deep world. Like Renee Montoya, man, Gotham is such a treat to read. Whenever I read Batman, I keep having to remember that.
Vanessa's the new comic fan, right?
Yep, I think I joined my Discord server not too long ago, so I should say welcome. I'll say welcome right after I finish up the stream, I promise. Let's see if I can. Yeah, Green Lantern Corps Volume 2 was so it's coming out on the 19th of November, Alex. I don't know where you're at, but yeah, it's coming out on the 19th of next month. I said that it got delayed, it pushed a week back. Same thing happened with Scalped. So Scalped and Green Lantern Corps Omni Volume 2 are coming out on the same day. I can't speak to the rest of the Omnis or where you get them from, but those are the prepetitive release dates for that book. Yeah, Samney is doing Battober as of whew, man. I don't know how he keeps up with this and everything else, but no, that guy's a legend. I most of what he does in art, I'll always check out. Samney's one of my same here.
Yeah.
Any Captain America omnibus coming out next year besides Grunwald Volume 2? I have no idea, but I do know a site where you can check that out.
What site would that be?
It is comicreleases.com, your one-stop shop for every single release date to the update today. And yeah, they would be right. Grunwald Volume 2 is the only Cap book coming out next year for Omnis. So far. We only have it up to
Comic releases.
So much Batman turned into a bat. Who knows, Chandasuk? Who knows? Got a big Batman haul in one day, 5 Omnis and 2 absolutes.
Tell us what ones you got, Vanessa.
Yeah, you gotta. That's a lot.
Let's hear what you got. That's really cool.
And my friend's the same way. He every single time like he and I call, it's like he hates everything about Bruce Wayne. And then like the next thing you know, he's like, "Oh, I want to buy as much Batman as possible." So like who knows? What's the worst omnibus each of us has read, and do we still own that Omni? Well, do you have the Neil Adams Omni still with you, Jess?
No, I lost it in the flood, and I never replaced it.
Oh,
that would be it. Yeah, that was a travesty. It was, and it got ruined in the flood of 2017, and I never replaced it.
Dang, it's a lot.
Yeah.
All of the Omnis that I own, even if I'm not 100% with the stories that I've read in them, just because of the space I have, I don't feel like I actually don't know if I have a worst Omni, because everything I have is there's always something in it for me, if that makes sense. There's always something that's worth it, even if say, oh, like I think the story is the art's cool, but I'm always like that, right? So yeah, I have no idea.
Boy, I couldn't find anything redeeming about the Neil Adams Batman. And then they stick Odyssey in there, which was just like this huge thing of salt in my wound. My wounded heart.
The wounded.
Yeah,
Neil. I mean, I remember reading Batman versus Ra's al Ghul from Neil Adams a couple of years ago.
The one he wrote?
Yeah, the one he wrote.
Yeah, I didn't read that. Was it what I'm thinking it was, which is terrible?
Yeah.
Oh,
it looks good.
Yeah,
but I that's everything. Almost a lot of things Neil Adams I can say.
He was my hero as a kid.
So yes, apparently, literally. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I got the tagline there. Excited for the DC Finest line. Looking to collect the Wonder Womans first. Yeah, we got 2 Wonder Womans. We got Bronze Age Wonder Woman right before we hit Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then the first volume that's coming out, which is most of Gail Simone's run, is coming out on the 2nd week of November.
Oh, that's definitely worth collecting.
Sure.
Gail Simone's run's really fun.
Mm-hmm. I did not Logan, but
what was the question?
Ask it in the chat again. We'll get to it. Hey, you know what? I actually have like this weird affinity for Superman Blue, but I think it's mainly because Grant Morrison made me like Superman Blue in their Justice League of America run. So I don't know why that is the case. Maybe it's just because I was exposed to later stuff and not like the regular old, like the classic Superman Blue issues, but who knows? Guys, I read Batman the Night by Chip Zdarsky, which is set up before Batman Year One. Tells how Bruce learned. Man, amazing Batman story.
Love that story.
Completely agree.
That's why I don't mind all the Batman that they're putting out, because I think a lot of it's really good. I haven't like the Zdarsky stuff. I'm really digging. Now I haven't read the Tiny Onion stuff yet, but some of these other Batman titles, a lot of them are really good. So I loved this book too.
I agree. Here's a question for you, Jess. What are your thoughts on the Deadman Omni?
Jiminy Jillikers? I love that Milhouse. Deadman. This is actually may have come as a surprise to people because Neil Adams wrote a lot of this. Not only did he draw it, but he wrote the first one he did not draw. Carmine Infantino did, and Arnold Drake wrote it. It's too long, don't read. It's really, really good. It's got original Neil Adams artwork in it that is recolored and unre-inked, so you get to see why Neil Adams was considered the premier artist of the time. And Deadman, his writing is actually pretty good here. And by pretty good, I mean really good. I found it to be a compelling storyline for wherever Neil Adams wrote it. And he took over pretty quickly. Like maybe with I feel like he took over in the second story. Strange Adventures, written Arnold Drake. Jack Miller. Okay, where's Neil Adams? Where does he start? He starts with Strange Adventures 212, so there's a good foundation set for Neil Adams, and he writes it well, and the art's really good. The coloring's really good because it's as it's meant to be. Oh, I highly recommend this. I don't know if it's still in print.
It's getting a reeditioned next year on the 25th of February. Don't quote me on that, but you can check out comic releases for the actual date.
I would definitely recommend it. Because there used to be almost an absolute sized. It was smaller than that, but it was a Deadman collection. It didn't collect as much as this did, and they let Neil Adams recolor and re-ink the first issue that he drew, which was the one right after Carmine Infantino. So it was Strange Adventures 206. And they let him re-ink it, and you could see, it was easy to tell how bad it was because there was those terrible colors, the terrible re-inking, and then the rest of the book was unretouched, and it looked really good. And then I don't know why they let him do that. Maybe that was a test run for letting him loose on Batman. I don't know. But that ruined that particular thing. That's way out of print. But get this instead. Yeah.
Get Deadman. Get Deadman when it comes out next year for sure.
Yeah.
Dom, I'm curious to know how you collect comics. I buy both. I buy everything. I think at this point, I think it's safe enough to say that like I will try out anything just as long as it's like I keep saying comprehensively. I feel like I'm going to be saying that till the end of time just because of the stupid DC Finest stuff. But I do collect everything in Notion. I get singles, and if I like the singles enough and it comes out in Omnibus, I will buy the Omnibus or the Absolute or whatever it might be. I buy singles because I never want to be left out of any single conversation with anybody. Like I still have like a lot of friends online who buy singles every single month. And I always feel left out if I'm not if I'm not buying them. So yeah, that's
you like to be well informed.
Yeah, I try to be as much as possible. So like if I go on any one of these streams today, I don't sound like an idiot when I'm talking about current or past stuff because that has happened a bit. But if you are here today and if you are in Europe and are interested in buying and pre-ordering Omnis with all of the collected editions, you should definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany, which has the cheapest pre-order prices for Marvel and DC books for all European Union countries, with bulletproof packaging and a flat shipping rate at 12 euros. All emails will be answered within 24 hours with the exceptional customer service. So go ahead and use the code NearMintCon at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order of over 40 euros. Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for Omnis and collected editions in Europe. There you go. I hopefully we rated that. We hopefully did that well. Let's catch up to the chat. Jess, did you get your Poison Ivy?
I did. I do have it. I'm doing some reading right now to get me prepared for the Evergreen stream that's coming up this Thursday. And then once I'm done with that, then I can go right to Poison Ivy. That's going to be the first thing I want to read. That is so much fun. You were always so right about that, Bar.
Let's get to this question real quick. New Spooey, uplifting stories. Man, I hope you can feel better, man. Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that. New Spooey, the best. Any recommendations for uplifting comic stories? The Minister and I, 4 years ago during the height of COVID, maybe James can find it. It was in April, because April was the scariest month for me and for the Minister. I can't speak for anybody else, but we were like, times are scary. Here are some uplifting books that will make you feel better. So if James can find that, I know it was in April of 2020. If you want to go into my vault, but I'll try and think of something currently. Any recommendations for uplifting comic stories? I'll try and think of something.
If you do have DCUI New Spooey, Batman and Robin issue number 1 is free to read on that.
I found World's Finest by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. I have been finding that a lot of fun. It's not. I think it's really fun. I think that might be what I recommend. And then I'll also recommend Jed McKay's Black Cat, which I think is really fun. And Kelly Thompson's Black Widow, which is fun. Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel. All of Gwenpool. You should read Spooey. You should read some Gwenpool. Gwenpool's really fun.
There you go. But yeah, I got Batman and Robin year 1. For the sake of Dick Grayson just being a very, very enthusiastic young person, I really, really loved Wade and Samney's take on him. So Long Halloween and Dark Victory, real quick, the one thing I will say about those two specific books, Jeff Loeb is coming back to write Batman, and Jim Lee is going to be joining him on art. I think there's a good chance that we could see him getting printed up coming in the future. Yeah, got someone who's excited for the Better Days Later.
You could get the Omni.
Batman did not exist in 1938. Thank you for the super chat, Jeff. But yes, I agree. What was wrong with the Adams Omni? We mentioned earlier, the recoloring and the finishes on that book were not the greatest thing to do. So they're demastering the omnibus.
Demastering. They're despecializing it.
So yeah, James, if you have a link to that, go ahead and please share it in the chat. Yeah, Marvel now, like the DC Rebirth omnibus, the one shots, they did that. I'm usually not a big fan of those, but it is what it is. I see hey, someone noticed Piplup, my new friend who has decided.
Oh, is that a new one?
Yep, it's a new one. This is the Penguin Pokemon Water Starter of Gen 4. So
cool.
Yeah, Jeff Loeb, Batman, all three of Morrison Bats, Snyder. Oh, okay, good stuff.
Vanessa, if you already got Jeff Loeb Batman Omnibus, do you need why do you need the absolutes of Long Halloween that's already in the Omnibus?
Mm-hmm.
Is the answer because you want to collect them? That's perfectly that's a perfectly good answer. I plan to get all the Batman Omnibus and absolutes.
There you go.
Okay?
That's a lot of commitment, but
totally fair. Good luck.
Question, silly question. What's the difference between a solicitation date and the release date? Solicitation date specifically, I think with what they're mentioning, we're talking about the 2 months before stuff gets published and printed out. What we do, sites like mine and other news sites receive public information from DC and Marvel to push out at a certain embargo date, which is the solicited date. Release date is just whenever the book comes out. So as far as I'm concerned on that. No spoilers in case some people are not watching it, but thoughts on the Penguin. I think it's on par with the first season of Daredevil. Oh, man. I have only watched the first 3 episodes. I need to get back to it, but it has been fantastic. I need to catch up.
Great things about it. I really want to watch it.
Yes. Helen Hondo, hello.
Hondo.
Rarely get up early, but wanted to say hi to Omni Dog and Dom as well. Good morning.
Morning, dude.
Macius, thank you for the super chat, $9.99. Appreciate it, bud. Just JSA has a long symbolized family values in comics. In the past decade, these seem to be gradually fading from comic stories. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
I read the recent Jeff Johns JSA and his Stargirl, and I didn't notice that there was any lack of family values in them. Jeff Johns' big, thick Omnis can't speak to family values. JSA, huh? I know what you're saying. But times change and sometimes characters change. So I would say that I don't know that Justice Society is the place where I would look for family values, just because really Jeff Johns is the only one that's been writing it recently, and
Jeff Lemire's taking over in November.
Oh, okay. Is that absolute or current or
current?
Regular?
Regular JSA.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Justice Society is kind of an odd one to ask about family values, because I don't see it as being regularly printed aside from the Jeff Johns stuff. And I don't know, maybe times change. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I have a good answer for that one.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we've definitely seen it in, some comics. Like Philip Kennedy Johnson, if you've read any of his stuff, and he's doing it now with Batman and Robin, with Bruce and Damian. He definitely has a penchant for writing father-son stories, like we saw in Action Comics and Superman. I think a lot of people just want, like not just, those types of stories, but also a lot of other different types of stories too, especially with how many different people are now writing comics and the stories that they want to tell, which I don't think in itself is a bad thing. What I do hope for Lemire's JSA is we do get some of those, and it does seem like he's taking a lot of inspiration from the Golden Age All-Star comics, which is going to be, I think, a great thing for his run. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because we have so many different people looking at so many different angles from comics now that we get a lot of different ideas and everything else involved. But again, that's just my opinion. I know other people feel differently, but it is what it is.
I will say that I think Rebirth Superman is very wholesome, with young John and Lois as the, Lois as the mother, Clark as the father, and young Jonathan. I think it's very wholesome and a lot of fun. That's the most fun with Superman I think I've had in a long time, is reading that Rebirth stuff.
For sure, for sure. FOMO plagues both Omar and Dom. It's a real thing.
Oh, it plagues the hell out of me.
The only reason I got this guy is because apparently he's I was in Florida the last week, right in the midst of the hurricane.
What?
And apparently I have no idea why this guy is exclusive to Florida, because I don't know if you guys know this, penguins don't live in tropical areas. But yeah, it's definitely a real thing. Definitely a real thing for me. Dom, what do you do with your older copies once you upgrade a series to a different format?
Oh, I was wondering that too. Good question, Bar.
I always give my comics away to someone if I upgrade. I feel like I know that, like, I spend money on it, whatever, but I figured and realized that the moment that I sell it off to somebody else, like if it's on eBay, if it's through my Discord server, Facebook group, or whatever, I might be missing out on the opportunity to make a brand new person a comic book fan, or a person who might not be a fan of that specific character or writer or artist into fans of whatever that character or writer or artist are. And I'm like, you know what? Cool if I'm 20 down in the hole, but if it makes somebody's life better, or if they have fun time reading it, I did my job. So I always try to give something away, like if it's a standard hardcover, deluxe hardcover, whatever. Someone wants it, like, shoot, they can have fun with it. So that is what I do. I usually give my comics away to people if I don't need it anymore.
Nice.
So there you go. I have a super chat. All right, interesting.
Okay, let's go, Doc.
I'm trying to find it. Jess, is that the
yes,
pregnant Poison Ivy story?
She appears pregnant on the cover. I can't wait to read it. I may have to read that today, now that you remind me that she's pregnant on the cover. I may read that today.
Okay, well, there you go. Jess is maybe this is the in between him and the realtor. I forgot her name already.
Tracy. Actually, it's going to be after Tracy the realtor and before Curtis at 8. I'll have a chunk of time there.
There you go. Uplifting books. Thank you, Mr. James.
Oh, that's with Kristen. Okay, thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
That's a good one.
Would you guys recommend G.I. Joe Compendium as a good blind buy for someone who's got? Yes, 100%. If they're not if they're like someone who might be a comic fan, might not be, and are trying to look into it, I would definitely suggest getting that first compendium for G.I. Joe, 100%. Let's see. Do not read Kelly Thompson's Black Widow if you want your spirit lifted, but it's fantastic.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. It's a fantastic run though.
But I thought of one. I have both Black Cat and Gwenpool. Good. Just haven't read them yet. Also, Rainbow Rowell's She-Hulk.
Oh, yes.
Very fun.
It is.
Yeah, you like it too?
Oh, man. It's the best like slice of life stuff I've gotten in comics in a decent while.
It is so good. Yeah, good. I'm glad you like it too. It is. I really recommend that, Spooey. I recommend that to anybody just in general on reading. Her She-Hulk is great.
I completely agree. I hope we get an omnibus of that and maybe throw in like Soul and Tamaki in there someday. I don't know.
Oh, I have all the trades, so you're getting an Omni.
Right.
You're welcome.
You can thank Jess for that.
Yeah.
There you go. I remember breaking out the news of that video. That's what we got.
Happy news.
News indeed. Yes, World's Finest by Wade and Moore, surprisingly good, especially for Kingdom Come fans. I hope we get an omnibus of it someday. I know that it's still ongoing, and Wade has repeatedly said that as long as DC is willing to publish those books out, it'll be on. The thing is, Dan Mora is now off the title because he and Wade are now doing Justice League, which is very fun in and of itself. Dan Mora is also now drawing Superman with Joshua Williamson. So Mora's off the title, but I believe the whole plan for that is try to get as many different artists in as much as possible.
Is Wade still on the title?
Oh yeah. It's 100% still a Wade
but it's
book.
Just not Dan Mora.
Not Dan. No.
Boy, I love his art.
Me too. All right, I guess something compelled me to scroll up. Big Stu, what's upcoming on both of our channels this week? It's a good question, actually.
Well, today at 2 Eastern time, I have Tracy the Realtor on for Halloween cereal taste testing. And then at 8 p.m. tonight, I have Curtis from Epic Marvel Podcast. And he also works for Clover Press, which does books like The Art of David Nakayama. So I'll be showing that book off and talking to Curtis tonight at 8. And then Omnibus on Monday. I think that's about it. What do you got going on, buddy?
Tomorrow I'm uploading a video of all the DC Comics single issue solicitations, including some newer Comic-Con announcements. I think I'll probably find a way to throw those into the video as well. On Wednesday, I will be uploading an interview with one of my personal heroes, Mark Waid, on my channel.
Oh, nice.
I was blessed enough for him to say yes to an interview. We're going to be talking about his new Justice League book that he's doing with Dan Mora, Batman and Robin Year One. And I mean, when you've been in comics for over 40 years, it's like, at this point, like, what do you even ask him that hasn't already been asked? You know, I'm thinking of like, man, I could ask him about, hey, what was it like, editing Doom Patrol for Grant Morrison or the Legion of Superheroes back in the 90s? So many questions I want to ask him, but yeah, that is what I do have. There is a Mark Waid interview will be up on Wednesday on my channel. So that's what I've got. That's what I got going on.
Also, I forgot, I have an Evergreen show this Thursday at 6:30 on this channel. Very fine condition with a panel of people.
And I will be making the thumbnail for that panel of people too.
Oh, good. Put my picture like right in the center.
The Omni Dog Evergreen. Oh man, that's kind of unfortunate. But tell your sis to get a penguin or get a Piplup.
Piplup.
Let's see. Piplup goated. I 100% agree. He's my favorite starter of that gen.
Wait, where's your other guy?
Oh, he's right here.
Oh, all right. Just want to make sure everything was okay. We want you to give him away.
Let me see if I can continue to find. Okay, that's fair. Galapagos penguins do live in a tropical island area, but you know what I'm thinking of stuff like
March of the
Penguin? I would say getting a Turtwig, which is a turtle Pokemon, that would make a lot. No, scratch that. Totodile, which is pretty much a crocodile. Because of the alligators and crocodiles that live in Florida, I think that would have been smarter to make that like a Florida exclusive instead of this guy. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. I know that some people might be or feel whatever different about it, but that is how I feel. Which comics would you recommend to a Spider-Man video game fan? There's a lot of Spidey comics out there.
I'll say the Ultimate Spider-Man, the original Ultimate Spider-Man by Bendis and Bagley, and I'll go with that.
I'll go with the classics. You know what? I read over 200 plus issues of Amazing Spider-Man in order to. I did a for my final speech in a public speaking class. I did my persuasive speech on why Tom Holland isn't a good interpretation of Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Is not.
I made that argument because I wanted to have fun, and get some conversations rolling. But I also thought, coming it from like, it's easy to argue something for, I think, than argue something against. Well, maybe nowadays, maybe not, but
everything's
I wanted to have fun with the research title, and I read all those issues of Spidey, and I will say, the classic Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, John Romita Sr. stuff I love it, man. It took me a long time, I think, to appreciate Marvel, like Silver Age and Golden Age just in general, for both companies. Easier for me to get into DC than Marvel because I was a DC kid growing up. But yeah, that Marvel Silver Age stuff for Spidey just made me fall in love with the character. So I will say Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, John Romita Jr., Spidey.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I think the reason I love Spider-Man Silver Age so much, they really took chances there. Like with the death of Gwen Stacy and stuff, spoiler alert. The Punisher, I know that's later, but early on, all those things that happen, I mean, stuff just continuously happened that had consequences.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
For sure. Give your comics to kids on Halloween. Oh gosh, no. No, don't put that out into the world, please. Let's see. I've fallen in love with compendiums, bought the G.I. Joe one, looking for the JSA one in November. So yeah, JSA by Johns is coming up in compendium, and one thing I'm actually really happy about that compendium that I hope that they put out in deluxe or Omni someday, they have Day of Judgment in there. Day of Judgment is, I think, one of the most underrated DC events of the last 25 years. It's a Jeff Johns Spectre event. No one talks about it, right? Because we talk about Infinite Crisis, we talk about Flashpoint, we talk about Forever Evil, talk about 52. No one talks about Day of Judgment, but they found a way to slide that all in there, and I think it's fantastic. I think it has some of the best Spectre stuff in the last 30 years. People should read it. I'm kind of sad it's in the compendium format, but for that reason, I'm getting it. So,
is it not in the Omnis?
It's not in the JSA Omnis.
That's why I haven't read it.
Unfortunate.
Well, that means I need to get the compendium so I can read it.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the crypto pic? Yes, saw the crypto picture.
I was very happy with it.
Good stuff indeed.
Anything with crypto is 100% I'm in love with.
So yeah, we got a Zoom live or Melanie's Patreon's book club, and a NMC Omar AMA right after New York Comic Con. So please overwhelm him about how he's been getting lit up. Tell my boss that. I would appreciate it.
Wait, is that the right date? The 25th? Friday?
Yeah. Because 18th is
25th. Okay. Friday. Yep. I should know better than to question James. Sorry, take it back.
So yeah, Spiral will definitely be looking.
Oh, good.
Tell Curtis I said hi. Tell Curtis I said hi.
I will.
So yeah, good stuff. Marvel solicitations dropping today or next. That is so. Yeah, it's going to come out next week at some point on Thursday. You can look for it on comic releases when we upload it. Let's see. I'm new to comics. Where is a good place to start? Marvel.
Wow, that's a pretty broad.
Let us know what you like, man. There are so many good Marvel comics out there. But is there a genre you like? Is it? I know that they're mostly superhero, but do you like big action? Do you like the emotion? Yeah, let us know, and hopefully we can answer it a little better. Because if we're just talking about Marvel, I can just go on a list.
Yeah,
of all the Marvel stuff I like.
I mean, do you want team books like X-Men and Fantastic Four, Avengers, or do you want solo series like Daredevil, Deadpool, Spider-Man? We have recommendations on all that stuff. It's a good question.
Oh, we got here's a good one. Opinion on absolute Martian man. Okay, let me see if I can share
What's
my
that
screen.
look like? Jean Remy.
See, share screen. All right. Hopefully I don't get the chicken Big Mac, which is I don't know why this is.
I just saw that too.
So yeah. Here is the Javi Rodriguez is joining Denise Camp. Denise Camp, who is one of my current favorite writers in comics. He's killing it with Ultimates. Yeah.
Looks like one of those Easter Island heads. Maybe that's what they were based on, Martians. I don't know. It looks okay.
All right. Heard from the man. I love Javi Rodriguez. I personally cannot wait to get into the story.
Oh, we broke the news to Spooey that there's a chicken Big Mac. Yeah, man. It came out this week.
Indeedy. I think Booster tried it and he didn't like it. So
the chicken Big Mac?
Yeah. Which is, yeah. Dom, water. It is a water type. Yes. And Nabral's Faizi, thank you so much for the super chat, friend. Thank you, Omnidog, for the recent recommendation on Simpson Horror Omnibus. Ordered all 3.
Oh, you will be happy. Thank you for the super chat, and you will be happy. That's another thing, Spooey, that you could read that's uplifting. Those Simpsons oversized horror books, they are so fun. They are so well done, so funny, such good art, and they're so well put together. And for $45 or whatever before a discount, it's incredible. They are absolutely it's the best value out there. And Spooey, that'd be a good thing for you to read. And they glow in the dark. The covers do.
Okay. Good Rex. Shh. We're talking about Piplup. We're not talking about the penguin. I'll get you guys someday. I'm joking. I love all of you. Good morning. Thank you for filling into the No. Thank you for being here.
Rosie, good guy. Met him at Baltimore.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome to see you. Lots of hints pointing to the Court of Owls and Matt Reeves the Batman. And you know what? After the flop of the Joker, it'll be nice to hopefully see some other characters go up against Batman in their shine.
Oh, I am so over the Joker forever. Come on.
So yeah, there you go. A couple of recommendations for a good friend who are who's trying to get into the Marvel of the comics.
I think that might have been the guy that video game wanted recommendations on the Spider-Man video game, and these guys are recommending Untold Tales.
Well, for sure,
which is good. That's Kurt Busiek.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wait. Oh my goodness. Near Mint Condition has a Patreon. You do have a Patreon, and you can click it there or down in the description below. Watcher Supreme, hello. Do you think Marvel will do a reprint soon of the complete Black Costume Saga Omnibus because of the obvious printing error? From my understanding, I don't believe so. I think what they will do is just send out the PDF with the missing page. I do know that our good buddy Jake from Brave and the Boys had 24 pages missing, I think, was it?
Something like that,
yeah. Well, we're not Omar and Melanie, but I'll send the message of them for you. Hope you have a good week too. Okay, sci-fi Marvel fan. I feel like that's easy to.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Annihilation, Annihilation, which then leads into DNA Guardians of the Galaxy.
How about Fantastic Four?
That's
Hickman. Good science fiction. Ooh, Hickman. I think you need to know I don't know. Would you recommend that for a first time?
I would say for Fantastic Four. Yeah, I would definitely say
really.
so.
Okay. I would say Mark Waid. That would be my choice for sci-fi Fantastic Four. What else is sci-fi? Guardians of the Galaxy. But whose? Abnett and Lanning.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, not so. Well, Annihilation, Fantastic Four by Waid and Hickman.
Okay.
You know what? I'll try to throw. I want to throw in a Remender book so bad.
Or like Uncanny X-Force,
something like that. Yeah.
Just throw it in.
Yeah, there you go. There's our 4 recommendations, Mr. Walter. Uncanny X-Force by Remender, Annihilation, which then leads into Dan Abnett and Lanning. Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning's Guardians of the Galaxy, and Fantastic Four by Waid and Hickman.
And how about Silver Surfer by Slott and Allred?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, there you go. Silver Surfer by Slott and Allred. So there are 5 books for you to start out, my friend. Hopefully it'll get you into more.
Nice.
There is a Chicken Big Mac. Ben 10 Alien. This is, I think, to the Martian Manhunter designs by Javi.
Oh.
There you go. Omni Nation.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah. That's a good one, too. Nova. That's definitely a good one, too. So.
Oh, yeah. Nova. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the comics and NMC community. No, thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you for filling in the stream. Really enjoying the vibe. Hey, no, thank you for joining our Saturday mornings, or I guess in Jess's case, lunchtime.
It was Saturday morning when we started, so that's cool.
Hey guys, is Batman the Neil Adams Omnibus completely canceled because it's showing a release date for August? It should say on the site that it has. So on comic releases, if you filter through, like go scroll down to the end of the list, if a book has a release date of 2099-0101, that means it's either it doesn't have a current set release date, or it's canceled. It is assuredly canceled. So that is what I do have for you there, as far as that is concerned. Let me see if I can find another. Let me see if I can find another thingamabob.
I had to go get some.
Well, you're good. We got Bar asking, what are we reading at the moment?
Handsome Nerds. Thank you. I'm reading books for my supernatural witches/occult. My favorite ones. I'm going to do like a 3 or 4 part book. I'm sorry, 4 videos, like my favorite occult supernatural books. So I just finished The Marked, which is great. And I am now reading a couple books to refresh my memory for the Evergreen that's coming up Thursday, but I can't say what they are. That'll wreck the surprise. And what's the other witchy thing? Hexed. That's really good. I'm enjoying that. And then after Tracy the Real Terror Bar, I'm going to read Poison Ivy. I've decided. Everything stops. Poison Ivy. Pregnant Poison Ivy. I must read it.
Good stuff. And
what are you reading?
Besides the comics that I have mentioned, I do have the 10th issue of Ultimate Spidey with me. So that was. Let me see if I can pull. All right. So this is what I picked up at a random comic shop from Florida last week. I guess I got this at my local comic shop, but I did get the DC All In special. So it's a flip book. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So here's the wraparound cover. I don't know if
do you want to highlight yourself?
Let me see if I can highlight myself. So this is the cover for DC All In Special. This is pretty much a one-shot. It's a 64-page one-shot, which is going to document the rest of whatever the DC universe is in. There are two parts to this, right? Because it is a flip book. The first is that you have the main universe, which is everything that they're going on with regular Earth Zero with art by Daniel Sampere, and it just looks freaking fantastic. On the other side, this is everything that's happening on Apocalypse and why the Absolute Universe is the way that it is. And the cool thing about it is that you can you have the regular universe, which is right side up, and then the different universe is upside down. And so I'm not gonna share like what happens specifically at the middle of the book, because both sides of the book are like coming across to heads. And once you get to the middle, that's the ending of the book, which I think is pretty cool. So it's not your typical big like front to back. It's like, oh, it's a really cool, smart, artistic way that they did it. It did it in. It's fantastic. Wes Craig draws the Wes Craig draws the back matter, or not the back matter, but sort of the inverse, if you will. And love his work from Deadly Class and most recently Kaya. So yeah, good stuff.
Nice. Hey, Marvel Bab.
Good to see you, Marvel Bab.
Good to see you.
Question: after Wells and Ramita, who will be writing and drawing? So Ed McGuinness is going to be staying on our Amazing Spider-Man. He was the fill-in artist for John Romita Jr. But Joe Kelly will be taking over for ASM.
Well, that sounds promising.
I think my thing with Spidey is that we haven't had a non-brand new day writer for Spider-Man that's not named Nick Spencer. Like, we had Dan Slott right on the title for 10 years. Nick Spencer takes over, and he's fresh voice. But yeah, then we went back to brand new day with Zeb Wells and now Joe Kelly. So,
so who would you rather see than Joe Kelly?
Like, I don't know. I'm just making that statement. I'm not saying my opinion. I don't think I have a preference.
Okay.
So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, there you go. I hope that answers your question, Gabriel. Whenever Jess is a guest host, NMC becomes very fine chicken. That's true.
Very fine chicken.
It's true.
Like the new Big Mac with chicken.
Yeah, like the new chicken Big Mac. Dom, what's upcoming on the bestest channel ever this week? That's a great question.
That is. I already told you. I've got Tracy the realtor, and then Curtis.
So those two are on tonight. So yes. Let me see if I can actually pull up the schedule.
You've got the wait, did you already say, have you already published the interview with Mark Waid?
What, that's Wednesday for me.
Okay.
But on very fine condition. I do have, let's see, Monday. You know what? Give me a second, Big Stu. I am trying to get a hold of the NMC NMC content.
James is putting it in the chat.
Oh, thank you, James. Oh yeah, there you go. Old Reader, New Reader, Reels Talk, Wednesday Reels Talk, NMC Evergreen, and then, although I do have 2 interviews next week or not this week. Omar's posting a lot of his NYCC interviews at some point. They're all going to be separate. I think he's making the thumbnails for those, but that is what I do have. So, all tentative. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it because he's been busy with his networking material. But yeah, the man's busy. Let's see. For Spidey Omnis, maybe the brand new day Omni, because that includes the appearance of Mr. Negative. And you know what? That's a good point, because Christos Gage and Dan Slott both work on the writing of those video games. So yeah, that I actually can agree with that. I think Slot Spidey is a good introduction for those specific bookie games. Do you guys have any fantasy comic book recs?
That's what I left the room for. First, if James could find it, I have a 3-part my favorite fantasy comics. If James could find it in the vault library, thank you. And I will recommend the 2 volumes of Sonata. Let's see, where's volume 1 so I can tell you what's going on. 2 cultures clash on a planet both sides believe is their promised land. The Rons are peace-loving people. The Tynions are a race of warriors who are here to colonize and control. They're the sleeping giants who may be monsters or the gods of legend. Sonata is a young woman who will break all the rules to find her place in the world, and she's not about to let sleeping gods lie. The art is fantastic. The story's fantastic. I really, what the heck is that? Huh. I really dug this book. It's from Image, the writer David Hine, the illustrator Brian Haberlin. Wait, let me make sure that's right. Story David Hine, Brian Haberlin, art Brian Haberlin. It's 2 volumes. This is some of the best fantasy I've ever read. I love the world building and the you get invested in the main protagonist and all the other characters that are in it, and it's a very interesting and well done fantasy book. And then my other one is by Hickman, and that is Decorum.
Hey, there you go.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You dig this book. I know you must. So yeah, this is Hickman, and he's not too there's not too many charts and stuff in this like all his other books, but it's a vast universe building fantasy that I just absolutely loved. And
it's ridiculously wild, like in every shape and notion. Like Mike Huddleston on the art too. Like it's a perfect complement to the scripts and the story.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. What else did you like about it?
What I love about it too is like it's got a really strong protagonist. I really found her to be compelling, and her message, the story also of hers to be incredibly compelling as well. It's like if you combined everything that I love with fantasy with the usual sci-fi stuff that Jonathan Hickman typically does with most of his books. But yeah, from the crazy layouts to me like appreciating even more so of it like the second time that I read through it. It's wonderful. I urge everyone to pick it up and read it at some point. I need to reread it to, you know what? Maybe I should go on a trip and reread. I should have brought that book to Florida.
we should do a reread of it, and you and I review it on the next time you're on Batter Days.
We should 100%. I'd love to.
Okay, good. We should pick out a couple books and review them. Actually, I take it back. There are plenty of charts in here. But it's
it's Sasha E. Head who does the designs for that, and I think she's also the designer for his 3 Worlds, 3 Moons stuff on Substack.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there you go. Let me see if I can continue on with. Forgot we had substitute teachers today. I would have shown up sooner. Let's see. Guillaume de Font, Uncanny.
Axel.
I am the Uncanny Omar, and he is the Astonishing Melanie. So,
King.
Ding, ding, ding. Yes, Absolute Batman was so much fun, and I cannot wait.
That's
for
great
Wonder Woman.
here.
I cannot wait. Kelly Thompson has she's killing on all the books she's been on, man. Black Cloak, Birds of Prey, and yeah, very thankful
Black
she was.
Cloak. I don't think I've read that.
It's her brand new Image book. With yeah.
So it hasn't been collected yet.
I want to say that volume. Let me see if volume 1 has come out yet for that specific title, because I want to say that it is, but I could be completely wrong. Let's see, Black Cloak, because Black Cloak number 10 comes out next month. Okay, volume 1 came out last year.
Oh, it did.
Trade paperback, yeah. So
all right,
I think you'd like it. It's very much of the same. It's very much, yeah. It's a crime procedural with fantasy elements. I think you'd love it.
Cool.
Let's see. Really enjoyed you showing us the art of Nakayama, Omnidog. What artwork did Nakayama make at DC?
He has right now, currently, he's doing a lot of Harley Quinn covers. And he has a Zatanna cover. His work for DC isn't as widely spread out like it is for Marvel. I feel like he's done a Power Girl one, and but he doesn't. It's not nearly the amount that he has for Marvel. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the Power Girl one. That's awesome. And there's the Wonder Woman. He's got several Wonder Woman covers that he's done. And he's got a lot of. He's like currently doing Harley Quinn covers that are really gorgeous.
There you go.
That's going on right now.
I should reach out to Curtis so I can review some of those books too. I want to get some of them because I know that he works for Clover Press and all of that. I'm jealous that you got to do it though.
Well, I kickstarted it, dude. He didn't send it to me. I paid for it.
I gotta figure a way how to. I think I'm mad though because like sometimes I skip out or push out on those Kickstarters. Sometimes like I forget to get it on in the deadline. And sometimes like I'm way too on the fence, I guess.
Yeah.
But
well, it's being the Nakayama one's being released
to the regular market
in November. Sorry?
To the regular market?
Yeah, it's got two versions. It's got a direct market cover and then a regular cover. I have a different cover because mine has a dust jacket. But I got a dust jacket and a slipcase, so that's what I paid up for. You'll be able to get it from you'll be able to get it a lot cheaper, and you'll get the same content I did.
Okay,
so
good stuff to hear.
Yeah.
When can we expect Volume 4 of New Mutants? I hope soon. Are you into hip hop? If so, who is your greatest of all time? I am a really big Kendrick Lamar fan. I have been since Section 80 dropped back when I was, I was like 8, and I was figuring out how to hopefully the FBI doesn't hear about this, but I was finding ways to get songs on my iPod when I was a kid. Yeah, hip hop is what I listen to, and I probably will listen to a lot more of it today because my basketball games are today and not tomorrow. And it's the playoffs for my league, so I hope we win.
I hope you do too.
Yeah, I hope so. I am scared to death. The Hive Mind of Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly might be the writers after Kelly's run. I don't know if it's I think it's just a rumor. I don't think anything's been substantiated. What is the evergreen topic this month? Tune into our social medias. I don't think I'm allowed to say as of the moment.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't say what it was.
Dom, when the time comes, will the Batman DC Finest include Shout at the Bat? Will it be the same for Soup? I have no doubt it will. I think what they're doing specifically, though, is that like we've seen Batman and Detective both be collected in one. I think it definitely will be the same whenever they get to cover Triangle Era for Superman. But because we just had the Superman Triangle Year or Era Omnibus Volume 1 come out, I don't think they have a push forward to do it, especially if they're going to continue that line in omnibus format. I think they want to get to uncollected parts of the Bronze Age and also stuff like that directly came after, like right before Busiek and right after the Triangle Years ended. I think they have more of a priority there. I think for Batman, it will definitely be interesting to see how they do it and coop it up, because I think for Batman, they're just going to probably keep it to Batman and Detective, which I don't think is a bad thing. So I think we'll get another like sub line of books that will collect those. I think that's what they're going to probably go to do about that. Do we have a best Spidey and worst Spidey Omni we own?
If I didn't dig it, I probably got. Oh, there we go. My favorite fantasy. Thank you, James. The best Spidey Omni. Gosh, I don't know. I love those first five Silver Age ones. I like the Roger Stern. I like Superior Foes of Spider-Man. That needs to get reprinted. That's not a Spider-Man book, but it's even funnier. What's the worst one? Venomnibus 2, probably. If that's book.
I think that counts. I only own 2 Spidey Omnis at the moment. I haven't gotten a chance to buy Brand New Day Volume 1 yet, even though I said I would, so that we could get.
Oh, I just ordered that.
To slot. Yeah, I only have Superior Spidey and Stern.
Oh, and yeah, I like Superior Spidey's great.
It is great. I like both. I don't think I have a best or worst one.
Can I just address Spooey's question at 12:30? You don't have to go back to it, but
go ahead.
He's talking about Simpsons Treehouse of Horror collection. Just I have the first 2 Simpsons Treehouse of Horror collections, but not the third. It's just too bad no one has done an overview of the last book, or has one been made? I don't know if that's your wink wink way to get me to say that I released the overview for that yesterday, and this morning I released the David Nakayama overview. So if any of you are interested in the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Omnibus Volume 3, Omnibus Volume 3, I released the overview and review yesterday, and then today I released the Art of David Nakayama overview. Thank you for asking, Spooey. I just wanted to go back and
there you go. All right,
let people know what's going on in the world of the vault.
So others have recommended a couple of fantasy books too. We got Strike Force Moratori, which is getting an omnibus. Elf Quest, another nice one. Elric, Last God Fellstar Chronicles, 100%. I would definitely put that in there. Yeah. Coda by Cy Sperrier, Secret Voice by Soto, Conan, obviously. There you go. Thank you to the chat for giving us some.
Coda is great. Good call on that.
100%. Good stuff, guys. How's the Stephanie Brown
good? Sorry.
How's the Stephanie Brown Batgirl book? It's my favorite Batgirl run. You should read it. The 26 issues that we got right before DC said, let's destroy and reboot everything because Barry Allen missed his mother, which suddenly created a brand new universe. That's another story for another time.
He missed his mother.
And the Reverse Flash made him pay for it. Yeah, the 26 issues we got there. So Stephanie Brown, helming Batgirl right after Cassandra Cain sort of gave that model over to her when she became Black Bat. Fantastic stuff. It's her trying to figure out and realize what it means to, wear the specific part of the suit. Also in the shadow of her mentor, Barbara Gordon of the Birds of Prey. It's also got a great Tim Drake crossover with Red Robin. Damian Wayne is also unironically the funniest part about that book. I want to make sure I get my wording right, but my the joke that people I think used to be made on Reddit was like Damian Wayne had a really, really amazing ability to make Stephanie Brown's chest smaller. And you can take that however way you'd like it. You have to read the run to figure out what I'm talking about. Yes, Bar. It is 100% worth it. I know that you know what? I actually have to give a big credit to Scott for just going all in, no pun intended, into how big and stupid the Batman suit looks. The Batmobile was revealed at NYCC this weekend for the Absolute Universe, and it's like, wow, they're going all out with the title. So I definitely will say yes.
Does it look like a Cybertruck?
Oh no, it looks like one of those Star Wars, not an AT-AT, but one of those like big vehicles like clone troopers. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, thank you Omni Nation for the Great Rex, He-Man, Aaron Thor, Dark Knights of Steel, Once and Future. Man.
Love
all of these are going over my head. Well, yeah. Thank you.
Dark Knights of Steel, great.
Another question, will we get anytime soon of hardcover collections like New Mutants, X-Men Red, or Duggan X-Men? I hope so.
I think they must have some kind of plan, but I don't know how they're going to do it yet.
There's I think I talked about you the last time, yes, but it's like 20 plus omnibuses that they would need to put out for the 632 issues of the 5 years of Krakoa. So
do you I love Krakoa, so I would be potentially the audience for that, but see, I don't go on social media or anything, so I don't know what other people have thought of Krakoa in general. Would there be a market for 20 Omnis, do you think? Knowing how big of a commitment it is?
It's X-Men, so I would definitely say yes.
Okay.
I think the thing is just like, even if numbers dip a bit, is Marvel willing to commit? I think that's the question in and of itself. And it's also like, once you split away after the second Hellfire Gala, the line was starting to become a lot more 5 to 10 issues of a run each, instead of the long 20, 30, 40 issue runs that we're all sort of used to when we get these omnibuses. So stuff like Exterminators with Leia Williams, for example, which was a 5-issue series. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's also like, where do you can't omnibize 5 issues?
Yeah,
I know Marvel has been omnibizing like 9-10 issue books, but I don't think that's applicable, especially with so many different books revolving. I don't think it's not a business model I don't think they should be following, because like once you get past like volume 8, 9, 10, like that's where it starts to get dicey, right? So
maybe they'll do modern Marvel epics for it instead. I don't know.
I have the because they put out a complete collection type like book of Hickman's X-Men, which is like volume 1 and volume 2 are just going to be whatever is in the X-Men omnibus by Hickman. I could see them definitely doing that. Maybe like add a like nice or different design to it, because they've been doing that for all the Krakoa books, right? Where they're like color coded, like you've seen with the Dawn of X, Reign of X trade paperbacks, where it's like this black, gray, white color format. I could definitely see it. There's so many different ways that they could do a Krakoa line. I don't know how they tackle it, but I think your suggestion, I mean, it definitely lends credence. I could definitely see him doing that. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. There's just so many books in that time frame that I mean, that's a bigger commitment. I think than the Claremont 16 issue or 16-year run that he had on X-Men. So it's a lot of books.
Yeah.
How many Omnis do you think it would take to collect the Triangle era? Considering that it lasted for I would say 10 to 11 if they're planning to go that far out. But the thing is, I think like after Omnis like 6 or 7, you know, the guys the creators who started it aren't there right anymore, right? You know, they moved on to different books. So it might take a while to even get to like that volume 10 or 11, but I could definitely see them doing that. Maybe we get like a relaunch of whatever they call the Omnis, but it'd be a long time before I think we get to that point.
I will buy all of those.
We'll buy all of those, and I will get a chance to buy them at some point.
We'll read them too.
Omnidog, who are your students of the week?
My students of the week this week would be Jessica Ashcraft, who has been an excellent reader of Superman with me, and then as always, the Unstoppable Bar, who is always in love with as much strong female protagonist as I am, and isn't afraid to speak her mind on what she doesn't care for. So those are my. Oh, I'm trying to subtly plug your channel. My students.
Your students. Yeah. I think it's the bit because Melanie does it every single.
Oh, she does. Okay, I don't watch this show, so I don't know. Sorry, I don't.
I am. You know what? I'm currently in. You know, I'm still getting another degree, so I don't know if I count. I definitely don't count. But
as my student. Oh, you're a student. You're definitely a student.
Thank you for the super chat, Jack Ferry. Yes, we do need a Cassandra Cain Batgirl omnibus, and hopefully with the DC Finest announcement of them doing the 30 or 20-ish issues of Batgirl, we'll get it at some point. That was number 1 on my DC printing omnibus poll. So,
are those what? How do I own those? Those are just in trade paperbacks. Do they get?
There's a DC Finest of Batgirl. You know what? Let me see if I can share my screen. Let me do this.
I feel like I don't have a complete Cassandra Cain.
They haven't pushed. They haven't printed all of it out, which is
that's what I thought. Okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can figure a way out to share the world what we are, I guess, talking about. All right, there we go. So,
oh
yeah, this is DC Finest Batgirl. Nobody Dies Tonight. It's going to collect those issues and then the crossovers with Superboy 85 and Supergirl 63.
What I couldn't read what issues they were.
Right there.
7 through 27. Oh, that's a good chunk.
It's a decent chunk.
Nice. Okay, good. I'll get that. That's the only way.
It's currently the only way that we're going to be able to read the Cassandra stuff. But yeah, very, very cool stuff.
I am no snob when it comes to books. I will read them any format that I can in collected edition. So,
which we appreciate, Jess. Yes, Batgirl or Batman Volume 1, good stuff. Bar. Appreciate him taking big swings. Interested in Wonder Woman doing their thing. Hey, it already reached the second printing 2 weeks before the book is coming out next week. So,
is this Kelly Thompson's Wonder Woman?
Kelly Thompson's Wonder Woman. Yep.
RD's second printing. Wow.
So good for them, man. I hope it lasts a long time. I really do.
Yeah.
They did something different. You know what? I haven't heard anybody talk about pitchforks. Everybody's in. I have looked on all of the Twitter graphs and everything else. Everybody's praising Hayden Sherman for the art. Everybody's praising Kelly Thompson for there's apparently going to be magical elements incorporated along with this too.
Ooh.
So I think it's going to be right up your alley, Jess, whenever it comes in.
I'm excited.
Kamusta po, Juggernaut. Hopefully you're doing well, man. No. Hey, we've seen Secret War by Brian Michael Bendis is less than 10 issues and getting an omnibus.
Yeah, so I just wonder if it would be easier for them to commit to 30 modern Marvel epics, complete collection.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to get, but yeah, it is. Yeah, it is what it is. So the Piplup is exclusive to Florida, but you can get it at GameStop in Florida.
Oh, you can only get it in the state of Florida?
Apparently. It's not available online. Like I've tried to like look up 24-inch Piplup on GameStop and on eBay and on other third-party resellers. Nada.
Okay, now I want it. I don't even collect it, and now I want it.
It's so cute. Who doesn't like the penguin Pokemon? Oh, it's a good.
You FOMO'd me. Now I want it.
Didi. Dom suddenly. Hey, I'm always in the shadows. I'm Bat Dom. No, I'm joking. 2 boxes of Krakoa. I'd be in with. What about you guys in chat? Ooh,
2
I probably would, even though I've bought every single issue of the 5 years of X-Men.
Do you have it all in floppy?
I have it all in floppies.
Wow.
I committed.
I've got it all that they've released so far in trade paperback and hardcover. I bought all the hardcovers, so.
And you can buy all the hardcovers and trade paperbacks and cheap graphic novels, our American sponsor. Here in California, we have shipping and epic prices up to 50% discounts, cheap graphic novels. I don't even think we have a ting, so we'll just let Jess do the badoing.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, cheap graphic novels.
I don't have a single for that because Omar was just like, do whatever you want to for cheap graphic novels. But I will be talking about cheap graphic novels once again when we do get closer to the DC Finest.
Who are you doing that show with?
I'm doing it with Curtis, Omar, and a very, very special guest who's joining us on the 4th of November.
Oh, I thought you had a continuing show. You don't have
Okay, so the continuing show is on my channel with Curtis.
Okay.
This is going to be a different thing where it's just for publicity so people can know about DC Finest and how to order it, what books are coming out, what to expect, etc.
And whose channel's that on?
This one. Very fine condition.
Ah, got it. Okay.
So I think we have 5 minutes. We'll give the chat 5 minutes of roundup. We'll try to answer as many questions in those 5 minutes, and then we can call it a day. I know that Omar typically leaves 5 minutes after chat, but I'm grateful enough that Jess was able to say yes, so we'll be here for a couple more minutes. Sure. If that's okay with you.
Sure.
All right. I'm not going to answer that question, Rodimus, but I hope you're doing well from the surgery, man. I texted you, didn't get it too bad, but I hope you're doing well. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. As a DC fan, from most to least wanted, what omnis would you like to see? Are they just from these, Michael, or are we talking about overall? Let's see. Favorite live action Spider-Man? Toby?
I really like No Way Home. Was that with all three? That's all three of them in Doctor Strange? I really like that all the way through. I think that's my favorite movie.
Okay. It was definitely fun. I remember my story with that movie is that I was talking to I needed to go to the restroom. And it was right before the three of them showed up. Or the two of them showed up to talk to, when
you missed that part?
No.
Oh.
There were three workers like near the exit who told me, no. You're going back to your seat and enjoy this moment. They straight up told me you are not allowed to use the restroom. I was like, okay, shoot.
That's awesome, because that's the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'll go back to my seat. As someone who's worked at a movie theater before, I worked at one like right after high school. I graduated high school. I will say, movie theater, unless you're working the dishwasher, movie theater jobs are really, really fun. So for any of you guys who are like, young like me, or trying to like figure out like, where do I get a job if I need extra money in the summer or whatever, I would say definitely work at a movie theater. Just make sure you do not wash the dishes. It's the worst job in the world. I've never washed them, but I've had a lot of friends who did, and they do not like it. We don't have omnibuses, unfortunately, so that is what we're dealing with. Dom, any updates? I'm still trying to figure stuff out, James. I'll let more people know about it on my channel. I should do more live streams on my channel. I only do like pre-recorded videos, but I should be able to like talk with you guys more often on mine. It feels weird that I'm not, but maybe it's just because I'm scared of doing live. I haven't done a live stream not with Curtis in like a year or so, so I need to get back on that.
Yeah, have me on your show. We're on a roll here.
Let's do it.
She was very nice in person, G. Willow Wilson, when I met her at Baltimore. Very nice person.
Awesome. That's awesome. Is Frank Miller, Chris Claremont, Walter? Yes. As someone who is, I will not. I'm not going to say my opinion because I don't want to get hounded by my boss. It is very good. You should buy it. I have Wolverine Omni Volume 1. But yes, the 4-issue series is astoundingly awesome. I think some of the best Frank Miller art too. Doc. Like two of my exes would have killed me if I said that on the stream today. So they're both like super big fans of Andrew Garfield. And I remember when we got in a stupid argument, I was just like, oh, I love those, 2000 Spidey films. They're like, no, but Andrew's so hot, Dom. How could you even say that? And I was just like, let's see.
Rocky at 12:55. Just real quick. So I'm going to watch the video after this. Would you recommend it? I would definitely recommend, if we're talking about Treehouse of Horror Volume 3, I recommend you watch the video, and I recommend you buy the book.
Yeah, so movie theaters, like, we do have like kitchens and stuff where we have to cook the food. Typically, like there are plates.
Alamo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know because I worked at a deluxe movie theater, so maybe it's different for like an AMC or something, but I'm pretty sure AMC probably has one too. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, there's stuff to clean. There's always like odd stuff to clean. So, yeah, that's good to hear, Rodimus.
Good.
Have you watched any spooky horror movies this season?
I have watched 2, and I will be I will be on next Saturday at 1:00 with Jessica. We are going to be reviewing those 2 horror movies. That sweet young woman is actually a huge horror slasher gore movie fan. If you can't believe it, she's such a nice person, but she loves horror movies, and so do I. And so we're going to be reviewing them on my show next Saturday at 1 p.m. So that's where you can find out what I've watched. Gary Redmond. There are 2 things I haven't seen before.
Yes. When will we stream next? So I have a live stream with Curtis, our monthly DC Finest live show, where we will be talking about all of the books right before, first week push. So hoping to get all you guys in. Our first show did extraordinarily well. We had, I think, up to like 200 or 300 people in at one point.
Wow. That's awesome.
Which I was like, wow, this is insane. So we will be back next Friday on the 25th. As far as Jess and I go, we will you know what? I'm getting close to midterm season for class.
Oh.
So I think booked at the moment, but Jess and I will be back do not worry about that.
Oh yeah.
You guys are really great. Happy Saturday. Yes, I do love G. Willow Wilson. I can't wait either. Can't wait either. And yes, we are still going, Melanie, because we have it's the weird overtime. Most wanted character to get a DC Finest one. Yeah, Hawkman is up there.
That'd be good. Silver Age Hawkman, that stuff's fun.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. You know what? I'll say Challengers of the Unknown. Unknown. I don't think we have much of that in collected edition format. And that stuff is, I mean, it's historic, and I think very much everyone should at least have a chance to know about it or read at some point. So
I'll say Golden Age Starman. They have a wealth of good Golden Age stuff that they could put out. Dr. Fate, Black Canary. Let's go, DC Finest. If you're not going to give me an omnibus of it, I'll take it in paperback.
That's fair.
What the hell? Who's this?
I don't know. I've never heard of the guy.
Can you guys please block this, whoever this person is? Block this person. Who are your mods here? Get rid of this person.
I know.
Loser.
And then one, I guess. Let me see if I can. Let me get two more in. Do you guys think I should change it's a Dan Mora Harley Quinn picture. I think it's perfect.
Unless you can find a better Harley picture.
And okay, then the last one. Has anyone read Hawkman by Ostrander? Have you read a Hawkman by Ostrander?
I don't think I have. I've read Spectre and Suicide Squad, but not Hawkman.
Not Hawkman. Okay.
I have not.
I've read some of it. I need to get back around to it. It's been a while since I got into Hawkworld, but I think there will be a lot of time for me to get into that, especially if with all the DC Finest stuff coming out, I need to increase my knowledge on all of the DC books that I can think of. So, but
also, I noticed that I got blamed for your being behind in the chat.
No. We got through.
I know, but I think it's funny. Earlier, like an hour ago, somebody said Dom's behind in the chat. It's because he has OmniDog on, because I'm always behind in my chats. So I just wanted you to know I had nothing to do with it.
He had nothing to do with it. And regardless, Jess is always a positive proponent at every single place he goes, no matter what. But I would like to thank you guys for spending your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are with us. If you're on the other side of the globe, or if you are in the California Pacific Standard Time Zone, I really appreciate y'all spending time with me and Jess. Thank you, Jack, for the super chat once again. Really, really, really appreciate it. Omar and Melanie will be back next Saturday. I probably won't be because it's playoff time for basketball, and I have practice in 40 minutes or so because I am scared. But you can find Jess here on OmniDog's Vault, where Tracy the Realtor will be on in a couple of moments and minutes, and our good buddy Curtis on Fair Batter Days in the Batcave. You can also find me at Dom of X, where I am almost at 2,000 subscribers.
Woo!
Which is insane because it's still hard to comprehend, but I couldn't be here without you guys and your mid family, and without all of you all. You can join Jess on his. I love the effects. You can join him on the Discord at OmniDog's Vault. If you want to talk to me, join the comicreleases.com Discord. If there's a book that you would like to be added, we also have, if you guys don't know, comicreleases.com. This is a website where you can literally get all of the updated information on all the big, thick bookies, not only just omnibuses, but we also got thick trade paperbacks. All the DC Finest and Marvel Epic collections are there. We've got the Absolutes, we got the compendiums, we got the slipcases, we got everything else in all of the awards. I want to thank you all once again. Please have a great weekend. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. Have a fantastic day wherever you are. Have a good one, guys.
Peace and love.